What's up, everybody? This is Billy from Neighborly Discourse with Billy and Steve. This is the Conspiracy Corner. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Quick behind the scenes. This is my third time doing this. Something with the camera, then the audio doesn't match up. I don't know what's going on here. I'm still learning this stuff. You guys have heard the main show. We do the producing ourselves, and we learn as we go. So, you heard the alarm. We're in the Conspiracy Corner. We were sounding the alarm today on what is called ESG. That is going to be to the end of our podcast here. We're going to talk about three conspiracies, or one conspiracy theory, three things that will lead to ESG in the main conspiracy theory. One is electric cars. Two is digital currency. Three are large conglomerates, business, venture, capitalists, whatever you want to call them, companies that buy up stuff. We're going to talk about those three things, tie it into ESG, and give the conspiracy theory. So that being said, for some of you, this is going to sound logical. You're going to believe it. It makes perfect sense. For others, you're going to think this is crazy, that I'm nuts, and the people who believe me are nuts. To you people, I'm saying, I hope I sound nuts. I hope I am nuts. I hope this is wrong. Because if it's right, if I'm right, we're all screwed. So trust me, I want to be wrong. That being said, I'm going to lay out things that I think you could piece together. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but maybe you see the correlation. So we're talking about ESG. We're tying in three things. The first one being electric cars. One of the many reasons why our gas is insanely high is the left want us to have electric cars. You know, sustainable energy, good for the environment, stuff like that. So part of the insane gas prices is to force us to leave gas-powered vehicles and get an electric car. We currently have OnStar, or we did it. I think that was like 3G. That kind of got wiped away maybe. But we have tracking devices and stuff like that in our vehicles, in our gas-powered vehicles. We have a mid-size SUV. Most of the new vehicles have this button where you have to press it or the car will automatically turn off when you stop driving. At a red light stop sign, it'll turn itself off. You got to press this button to deactivate that. So this is my first level conspiracy theory, is that the government, with all your electric cars, access to Wi-Fi, we know Elon Musk is putting hundreds of satellites in the air, in orbit, because he wants everybody to have access to the internet. It's not a bad thing, but we know certain people get a hold of a good thing and make it bad. So our totalitarian, communist wannabe government, the leftists, they emulate China. They want to have control over you. So my first conspiracy is they want to have these electric cars because if they do not like what you're doing, they can just shut it down. You cannot leave your house because your car doesn't work. And if you want to leave your house, ride a bike or walk. Again, sustainable, environmentally good, no pollution. If you're not driving your car, you're walking. These are things that they may want. So if you don't follow the rules, they're going to turn your car off remotely. In other parts of the world, a police officer can do it if they so choose. I have I think I looked it up online here. I think it was Reddit or one of these ask people, like, can smart cars be remotely turned off? And somebody wrote, in the United States, you have to be given permission for police to turn off the vehicle. They cannot track it without your permission. They can't turn it off without your permission. Again, we're in America. We have rights, freedom. They're not allowed to invade on that. Other countries, if the government wants to find out where you are, they'll track you. I mean, my guess is they do it here and they try to keep it a secret. But over there, you have no recourse. So they can find you, locate you. If need be, turn your car off. So I'm saying if you do not comply with the leftist government, and you have a smart car, and they get their totalitarian way, they will shut your vehicle off without you having any say in it. That's conspiracy one. Conspiracy 2, digital currency. Pretty much the same as the electric car. Right now, if I have $100 in my hand, nobody can touch it, nobody can take it. It's my $100. If I have $100 in my bank account, they could seize my assets for sure. If I have $100 in digital money, they can erase it with the press of a button. Now you're saying the government wouldn't do that. Well, let's say I'm a business owner and they're telling me that I'm not diverse enough. Though I've got 10 employees, 3 white guys, 3 black women, and, 2 white women, they're saying, nah, you need to be a little more diverse. I need you to have an Asian guy. I need you to have a Hispanic woman. I need you to do more. All right, no harm, no foul. But if they feel the changes that I make are not good enough, they will take my money because they have access to it. They can just press the button. Now, sure, it sounds crazy, but who's to say that what I think is okay to what you think is okay to what they think is okay is all going to be different. So they can simply press a button and erase your money. They're coming out with something now. This is on the Fed's website called Central Bank Digital Currency. The CBDC is a digital form of central bank money that is widely available to the general public. Central bank money refers to money that is a liability of the central bank. Now, they're pushing for total control. Central bank, centralized, controlled by the government. They're pushing for that. This money will be only available from the central government, okay? There are 2 types of currency: physical currency issued by the Federal Reserve and digital balances held by commercial banks at the Federal Reserve. So they are getting to the point, they're going to create their own money, right? So now, for argument's sake, you can't come over here with Canadian dollars and buy something from the store. It doesn't work that way. You have to get it converted. So I've got Bitcoin. I've got all this kind of money. Your money's no good here. You need the central bank money. Get it converted, turn over your real money for their money. Now they have you. They have your money. All of your money is their money because all other money is no longer going to be allowed to be used. So you're not diverse enough in your job, your smart car or your gas-powered vehicle they think is polluting the air. You don't volunteer enough at your local anything. You're not a good person. Hey, let's dock them, $500 this month. You can't do that. Well, the left, the totalitarian government, they're trying to be like China, what they want, they will be able to do that. They will control the money. The only place you can get the money is from the central bank, not around the corner banks. That's going to be gone. This is going to be a centralized, controlled by the government, giving out the money. If we talk about the rights of America, given by God, not by the government. If things are given to you by the government, they can be taken away by the government. So money, freedom, if you break the rules, they take it away if you do not comply with what they want. So now they can turn your car off because you are not following the rules, their rules. They can erase your money. Gone. You have no say in it now. That's crazy talk. That's 2 conspiracies, right? So the third one is housing. Steve has been looking for a new house. He's been with a realtor, and every time they see a new house, within a week or 2, it's bought. In cash, gone. And one of the realtors told him that, hey, there's large companies out there. They're buying him houses left and right. Now, we know there are people overseas buying houses here. We know there's various reasons why. But a bulk of it is being bought up by large corporations. A friend of Steve's works for one of these corporations, and they own like 5,000 houses. And that was about 3 years ago. So imagine what they own now. So these big corporations buy the house. They're not going to sell it to you. They're going to rent it to you. You don't own the house. If you don't comply, goodbye, okay? New saying, if you don't comply, goodbye. Copywritten, timestamp, you can't touch it. So one of these big corporations we heard about was BlackRock. So I did a little bit of research. Steve talked about it. They manage somewhere of $10 trillion in assets. Okay? BlackRock, the world's largest investment manager, has become an increasingly influential Wall Street player in Washington, D.C. The firm has hired notable policymakers over the years, and at least 3 leaders with the New York-based asset manager firm now on their resume have prominent roles from the Biden administration. Okay, they are part of the cabinet for Joe Biden. 3 of these people, a gentleman by the name of Deese is Biden's lead economic counselor. A gentleman by the name of Adameo is the chief. He's the top official of the Treasury Department. He came from BlackRock. Third person here, Pyle, the former global chief investor strategist who worked for Obama, is now the chief economic advisor for Kamala Harris. So these people, this business, this company, BlackRock, was here in the Obama administration, and they're here now with the Biden administration. So for all you people helping out your cronies, Trump only worries about his own and nobody else, I don't think you have a leg to stand on here. So it says here, they manage $10 trillion. That's a lot of money. So these people worked for the Obama administration before, and now they work with Biden. All right? They have a unit called FMA. This unit is effectively BlackRock's consulting arm, separate from its investment management operations. It had a significant role to play in the U.S. government's corona pandemic response. In 2020, March, the Federal Reserve picked FMA to handle an emergency asset purchasing program. There was no process where other asset managers could bid for the job, so it was given to them. They did this in 2008 when the housing boomed, fell apart. The housing boom popped. They bailed them out then as well. So they told them, hey man, you guys got to help us out with this. Second time. And that's, what they do. So here's a senator, I believe his name is, Chuck Grassley, about BlackRock. They have access to information when the Federal Reserve will try to sell securities and what price they will accept. They have intricate financial relations with people across the globe. The potential for conflict of interest is great and difficult to police. So they know when the Fed is going to sell securities. That means, in layman's terms, I'm guessing, feel free to write me, let me know, when they decide to do interest rates, when they decide to sell assets, when they decide to do stuff, that's when you see the market rise and fall. Interest rates rise and fall. They have heads-up information of when this is going to happen. We talked the other day here, Steve said that in 2020, November, when Biden was declared the winner, at that exact time, gas prices started to go up. He wasn't even in office yet, just declared winner. So what did they know was going to happen? Conspiracy, obviously. But here this says this company has access to when the Fed will sell their securities and what prices they'll accept. Pelosi a while back was asking about, hey, why can't politicians sell stocks? Which, I mean, she does anyway, right? She's a multi-millionaire, like Biden, like all these other scumbags. Here, Fink, the guy who runs everything. One, they are one of the largest investors in Exxon, at least when this article came out, or like the year before. One of the largest investors in Exxon. Exxon is gas, right? Fossil fuels. In an open letter to his chief executives, Fink wrote, climate change is becoming a defining factor in companies' long-term prospects. Disclosure should be a means of achieving a more sustainable and inclusive capitalism. Companies must be deliberate and committed to embracing purpose and serving all stakeholders, your shareholders, customers, employees, and the communities where you operate. Okay? Did you hear that? He said climate change is a defining factor in companies' long-term prospects. Disclosure should be a means of achieving a more sustainable and inclusive capitalism. Companies must be deliberate and committed to embracing purpose and serving all stakeholders, your shareholders, customers, employees, and the communities where you operate. To note, when Hillary Clinton was thinking of running in 2016, she was ready to make Fink her one of her financial advisors as well. So this company, again, all speculation as far as the conspiracy, they're 100% linked to the Biden administration, to the Clintons, to Obama. All right? So the reason I bring this up, again, ESG, okay? Your car, electric, could be controlled by the government. The cryptocurrency, the digital money, could be controlled by the government. And now one of the people who backed the government, who helped them out financially, is the largest asset manager in the world, or the country. We'll say the world. Who knows? It didn't say. It just says one of the largest asset managers. Let me read that again. I don't want to be wrong. Across the globe. So it is the largest investment firm across the globe who works with our government, with the Biden administration from the Obama administration. These are totalitarian wannabe communists that want to take over the world, that want to rule their people. Now, if you're saying, no, that's crazy, they wouldn't do that. China has that. Would you trust China not to shut down one of their people's vehicles for not complying with their ways? To wipe all their money out for not complying with their mindset? To kick them out of their house if they didn't get along with the Communist Party? Would you trust China to not do any of those things? America, the Biden administration, they want so badly to be like China. So let me read you this ESG. We're going to pull our conspiracy together here, okay? ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. So government, social, environmental. E, environment. S, social. G, government. Okay, ESG. Environmental. Impact on climate, greenhouse gas emissions, sustainability, climate change risks, energy efficiency, air and water pollution, water scarcity and waste management, site rehabilitation, biodiversity and habitat protection, environment. S, social. Human rights, community impact, respect for indigenous peoples, employee relations, working conditions, discrimination, gender diversity, child and forced labor. I mean, come on, dude. These people love China. The NBA loves China. But they all participate in this ESG for child and forced labor. I mean, come on, man. Can you be more hypocritical? Health and safety and consumer relations. That's under social. Governance for the government. Alignment of interest between executives and shareholders, executive compensation, board independence and composition, board accountability, board diversity, shareholder rights, transparency and disclosure, anti-corruption measures, financial policies, protection of rights. Everybody's going to get an ESG score. Right now, stocks have it, companies have it. What is your ESG score? If you do not meet a certain criteria, this business won't work with you. So again, if you have a business with 10 employees and you're saying, hey, no, I'm diverse. I've got, 5 white employees, 3 black, 2 Hispanic, and I've got 4 women. They may say, no, that's not diverse enough. We need 2 white men, 2 white women, 2 black men, 2 black women, 2 Hispanic men, 2 Hispanic women, 1 Asian. And if you don't comply, your ESG score will sink and they will not work with you. They'll cut off your funding, okay? This is what an ESG score will do. It's a personal credit score. So there's an episode of the TV show called The Orville where they travel around the different planets, and one of the planets has you wear a like button. If you get a dislike, 500 dislikes, you're not allowed in any establishment. over 1 million dislikes, you go to the correction area, they put something on your brain, and you have to do an apology tour. If you do not comply, if enough people do not change your dislike to a like, and you get 10 million, they wipe your brain clean. Okay? If you do not comply, you get lobotomized. It's a TV show, but ESG is that. You're not woke enough. If the government, if the business you work for, whoever you bank with, feels you do not comply, you have a gas-powered vehicle, nope. Environment, sustainability, emissions, greenhouse gases, ooh, that's a negative thing. If they think you, what's one under social? Health and safety, consumer regulations, respect for indigenous people. Let's say you make a joke about, football team. It's called the Washington Commanders now. What if you happen to say, oh, the Washington Redskins? Whoa, hey, whoa. You can't say that. That's disrespect to the Indians or the Native Americans. So, boom, you take a hit. And again, governance, shareholder rights, board diversity, whichever. If you don't line up with what they want, and you have an electric car that can be remotely controlled by the government, if you have digital currency that comes from the central bank and only them, and that's the only currency you can use, they can wipe it away. And if their big companies that work with them buy all the houses, force you to rent, and do not like your ESG score, they'll kick you out of your house. Okay? This is my conspiracy. You've got to be socially crazy or they're going to ruin your life. Now, you and I don't believe in discrimination. It's obvious. You're born a specific way. You have no say in most of this stuff. Why should I treat you differently? Your skin color, your gender, it doesn't make a difference to me, right? But discrimination is not being allowed in a restaurant because you're not carrying a passport, a vaccine passport. You're not wearing a mask. Half of the people believe that's crazy. It's my choice to wear the mask, my choice to inject a foreign substance in my body. The other half think, do it for safety, for public safety, which is in social, okay? That discrimination is okay based on the people in charge. If you don't comply, goodbye. That's it. They decide what discrimination is okay. They decide what health and safety is okay. They decide what diversity is okay. Your personal opinion you no longer can have unless you want to live destitute. That's my conspiracy. ESG coupled with an electric car, digital money, and big companies buying up these houses that work directly with the government, they'll shut your car down, erase your money, and kick you out of your house unless you follow this ESG. Am I crazy? Think about it. Just think. If it's possible. Thank you for joining me in the Conspiracy Corner. You guys have a great day. Shh.